Good morning, everybody. It's still morning. No, it's actually not. It's midday.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Happy lunchtime. Here we are just a week or so before Chanukah and a week or so before Christmas, which is all very exciting for people celebrating both, or neither, because it's holiday time. Natanya, Lisa,
Hi.
Merelyn. We are 3/4 of the Monday Morning Cooking Club, and we are missing Jax today. Hey, Jax, wherever you are watching. We are making potato latkes. So simple ingredients that you need to get ready before we start. Potatoes, we're using Desiree. What do you use?
I use Desiree exclusively.
Always Desiree.
So Desiree is a very good Australian all-round potato. It's got a pink skin, not the red skin one, and it should be a little bit yellow looking inside, not white. If it's white, you've got the other potato. So we need 4 potatoes. We need 1 egg. We need... having a little bit of technical difficulty. 1 egg, some flour, plain flour. We are using gluten-free plain flour today so that Merelyn here can enjoy the latkes for lunch. And we need salt and pepper, oil, whatever oil you like to use for frying. If it's olive oil, go right ahead. We're using this grapeseed oil, which we've talked about before, which is a supermarket variety. There are lots of wonderful oils around. Whatever your favourite will work.
I just want to swing back to the potato thing. If you can't find Desiree's, ask your greengrocer fruit shop for waxy potatoes, not floury potatoes.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Good
I got
tip.
it right?
Yeah.
Waxy potatoes.
You want the potatoes that are good for frying.
Yeah.
And I actually do always get mixed up which is which, because some potatoes are waxy and some are floury. The floury ones are great to do mash. So you would boil them or roast them and then make mash out of them. They're fantastic. And the waxy ones are good for salads.
Correct.
Okay, these are great for everything though. So potatoes, egg, flour, oil. You will need a peeler. You'll need a box grater. This is really an indispensable thing in the kitchen. I find, I'm interested if you agree with me, that when you do your latkes, when you peel your potatoes in the food processor, you get a very different sort of look. They're more, the strands are too sharp, I think. What I like about this is they're a bit mushy is the wrong word, softer on the edges, so you get a more homogeneous latke.
Even so, I always do it in the food processor
Yeah.
because it just takes 1 second and you're done and much easier.
I just think Lisa's old school, and I would do it all sorts of ways. Like I'd do it with a spiralizer. I would do it with, look at her face. I would though. I would.
I am old school. You're right.
And
I'm attached.
I also do it with like the very fine chipper attachment on the food processor as well, so they come out quite chunky.
Okay, so shall we start? So everybody, grab your 4 potatoes and start peeling. Merelyn is going to be our peeler today.
Expert peeler.
And I'm going to do the grating since I'm the grater of the group.
And I am just checking my phone to see if anyone wants to ask any questions, say any comments, talk to us, and I'll be looking at your messages.
Peelings are going everywhere.
The reason we're not all peeling is because we want to produce a video or a live video that you can all follow along in real time. So people who are joining us should be standing there. You should be standing there with your potato and your peeler and peeling away.
If you've already peeled your potatoes, hold your horses and wait for us.
Go and make a cup of tea and we'll be back in a couple of minutes and come back in 2 minutes. Yeah.
And actually, for the people that are making, for the people that are making it now and want to serve it for dinner tonight, you do that quite often, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you can do, and I do this particularly if I'm using latkes for an entertaining starter. So there are 2 ways I use latkes. One is like at Chanukah when everybody's around and you make quite big ones and you pile them up on a plate and serve them to your family and friends.
Yeah.
But if you're entertaining, let's say you've got 12 people coming for lunch, you don't have time to cook them fresh at 12:30 before they walk in the door. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, you can make, and we'll show you the size a bit later, have 50 little tiny ones like that. Put them on a big baking tray. They can get completely to room temperature. And then what you do is put a 200-degree oven, put them in, watch them carefully. In about 5 minutes, they'll be sizzling. You've got to be sizzling, golden again. Take them out, serve them.
Yeah. So you could do that with your Chanukah.
You could.
Yeah.
I think still there's nothing better, if you can, than freshly fried.
Agreed.
But they're not bad.
And
They're
there's
not bad.
also that kind of childhood memory of burning your tongue on your mum's latkes. Do you have that one?
I don't think.
My mum made
latkes.
latkes well, we didn't do donuts. That was quite a modern invention. So we did latkes so many nights in a row over Chanukah. And my mum served them as dessert.
This is the
Very
thing.
Hungarian.
This is what we were discussing earlier. Merelyn grew up eating latkes, so fried potato fritters with sugar.
Yeah, I know.
We-
But
we
it's a
were-
thing. It's a thing. Icing sugar, actually.
We were sold.
Not crunchy. Really?
Sour cream and
Okay,
salt.
we need feedback.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
anyone else grow up? I'd much prefer them with salt.
I wish I could read that.
got it here.
Yeah, here
I've
we
got
go.
it here.
I can't read. Glasses aren't good enough. Okay, so
I'm done.
great. Potatoes are done.
Great.
I know. That was great. Well done.
Oh, I don't know how to do it without.
You'll be great.
Natty's trying to
You're
read
great.
the screen
Bye,
to
I'm
see what was there.
I don't know how to do it without the sound. Sorry. Because we've got messages.
Okay. I wish I could see the messages.
Got
Okay. All right. How many latkes would you get out of 4 potatoes? That's actually a very good question.
We're going to count.
We're going to count. My guess is, how many would you say out of each potato you're going to get?
8.
It actually,
6.
you know what? If we
Yeah.
actually looked at the recipe in our book, it would tell us.
Okay, so the book's over
I'll go
there.
Excuse
And we'll
me.
have a look. So this recipe comes from our second book, The Feast Goes On, which is that middle one there. And it's the simplest recipe. You don't even need to follow the ingredients because it's just, you'll see, simple. So I'm going to grate.
You're great. I had the easy job.
The thing you've got to be careful about with grating, and I think we've all done it, is you don't want to grate your knuckles because it's for 2 reasons. One, you don't want your family and friends to eat your skin. And B, it hurts like very much so.
I'm back. So we're following the recipe in our book, second book, The Feast Goes On, and for this amount, 4 potatoes, we would make about 40, which is quite a lot, but they would be the little small latkes. So then probably 20 normal size.
Okay, Merelyn's going to grab the colander because the thing about potatoes, once you grate them, is that they're going to let out a lot of water. So you really want that water to go out of the potatoes before you make the latkes. So I'm just putting them in there.
Let's collect all the gratings first before we squeeze.
So I'll just carry on.
And guess what, Merelyn? You've got a friend with the sugar on the potatoes.
Fabulous.
Tanya, she did it too.
Oh, there you go. Icing sugar.
So those of you who have done it in the food processor, you'll be finished already and you can have a cup of tea as well while we just carry on. And you're enjoying this, aren't you, that I'm doing this hard work?
Sorry, excuse me. I'll just join you.
So grate away. And remember, my preference is to do it with the box grater. Natanya is a food processor and Merelyn is whatever.
Yeah, processor. But on the coarse setting, by the way, if you're using the processor, don't do it on the fine setting. It'll just turn to mashed potato.
It's interesting. The photo in our book, can you just show? It actually still bugs me. It's really interesting. Every time I look at the photo, it's a beautiful photo by Alan Benson, our fantastic photographer. But we did the potatoes in the food processor, and you can see every single strand, and I think they look weird.
I love that.
I like that look.
I think they look fabulous.
So have a look. What do you think? See, there's a picture somewhere of the ones with the smoked salmon. Maybe it's on the next page with the gravlax.
Oh, yeah, it's on the page.
Okay.
That's exactly how I like them too.
Okay, so it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they look great.
So there's a word in Yiddish, which is meshugas, right?
Yeah.
If someone has a meshugas, it means they're like a little bit crazy about something in particular. And I think my meshugas is actually not to do the potatoes in the food processor. Did you find that photo and show them? Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right, that's all right. Okay, nearly there. 3 done. And
I always grate
No,
my
I will.
stickers.
No, I will grate them, but I just want to concentrate on this. No, I won't.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I just want to do the less concentrating part first, and then I'll stop talking and concentrate on the last part. Okay, let's talk about, while I'm grating, do you want to talk about toppings for latkes?
I think sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to move on to actually the real topping?
Let's just chat about it.
So we all love smoked salmon and sour cream. I'm sorry.
I think we need to move up a little bit. No, wrong way, this way.
A touch of of soft cream cheese as well.
I can't get this right. Can you just stand up a bit? Sorry, you're getting off the screen. That's better.
Hello.
Sorry, they couldn't see you. Sorry for interrupting. Go on.
Your pleasure.
Go on.
So smoked salmon, and we're going to do it with some sour cream, which I could actually just eat straight from the bowl. I love sour cream. But you could do some softened cream cheese that you just kind of whip up a little bit.
Yeah, you can actually...
or a bit of schmear cream cheese with the spring onions in it.
That would be lovely.
That'd be really good.
In our new book, we have a recipe for an amazing walnut biscuit. It's a savoury walnut biscuit and it's served with whipped cream cheese, which is just room temperature cream cheese in your mix master, whipped with the whisk. And it's so light and fluffy and delicious. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You could also throw in some chopped herbs into that.
Yeah, would be lovely. Or salmon roe.
Oh, yes.
You know, the beautiful these.
Yeah, we love this. This is the Yarra Valley caviar, which we love, the salmon caviar.
Is that close enough?
Simon Johnson also have a delicious one of those with really big salmon pearls. So just when you're grating, when you get to the end, use your palm because you can't grate your palm. And that's just a much easier way to grate rather than your knuckles.
How long does this last once you've opened it?
I think quite a while, but I can't guarantee that.
It wouldn't last in my fridge. I would eat it by the spoonful.
Okay. Potatoes are grated.
Is that what it says, Natty? 4 days?
Yeah.
Used within 4 days of opening. So, you know, you want to go hell for leather on your salmon roe.
Okay. So, I just want to show you the potato, like how wet it is. There is so much liquid in there and you just want to get rid of a bit of it. You don't need to be obsessive and wring it out with a towel for this recipe. You just need to squeeze it. So, I'm just going to go wash my hands.
While I squeeze?
Yeah.
Another little thing you could do, if you wanted to, is throw a grated onion in as well.
Yes, I agree.
And do you not worry, Lisa, about the potatoes going a little bit discoloured?
No.
No, because they go brown anyway when you fry them.
Yeah. And we're not leaving them on the bench now. We're not leaving them on the bench now. We're going to do it. I wouldn't do this ahead, if that's what you mean. I wouldn't do it earlier and fry them later. I would make it as I'm ready to.
I've got a funny feeling that Lisa is better at the squeezing.
No, it's fine. You're doing a good squeeze. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
But
should we start heating up some oil?
Am I your favourite squeeze?
Oh, okay. So, well, I guess we could. So everyone who's following along, you need to be squeezing your potatoes now, no matter how you grated them by hand or in the processor, squeezing them out. You don't need to go mad. And we're trying to do it in real time, so we don't want to all do it because at home you're not 3 people.
In the old world, grated potato was used as a poultice if you sprained your ankle.
Really? That's very interesting. I love that. What, you
Takes
just like
swelling.
Yeah. Very interesting.
There you go.
Thank you for that.
I throw in a
All right.
new age medicine.
So let's, when we've done that, we finished talking about all the toppings. Have you talked about the horseradish cream yet?
No, I haven't actually.
So we're also going to make today a horseradish cream where we're going to mix sour cream with horseradish, and it's just delicious. It just gives another dimension.
Should we talk about putting this in a tea towel that I sometimes do?
Yes, I don't think for this recipe it's absolutely necessary to do that, but I think if you've got a recipe where you do need really dry potato, then you would do that.
So you just lay some along a clean tea towel, and then you roll it up and you give it a good squeeze between, like that, you know, like you're wringing its neck.
Yeah.
And
like when you do washing when you're traveling, do you do it like that?
Yes.
You put your washing in a towel.
That's exactly.
And then you wring it out like that.
Yes.
Who does that? Yes, everybody.
But
does
I never
that.
do it. For
when you hand wash silk. My mum taught me to
and you dry it in a towel like
in
that.
A towel.
So whether you're doing silk or potatoes or washing on a holiday, you use the same method of wrapping in a towel and squeezing the ends in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Okay. So has everybody finished squeezing their potato out? You should be at the end of that now.
Yeah.
And we can go on to the next stage.
Okay, girls.
So we're going to have 1 egg for 4 potatoes. And
Doesn't take much, does it?
always put the egg into a glass first. in case it's not a good one. It's always good practice. And I think we've told you stories before of the times we haven't done a good practice. And, you know, the last egg of 10 that's going into a bowl is bad, and then it ruins everything. Okay. So, egg into a glass and beat it. We've got flour. We're going to put and salt and pepper. Okay. So, do you want to put the flour in?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is it about? You do flour.
It's like 1.5 tablespoons.
1.5 tablespoons, yeah. Yeah.
About that?
Probably that and a bit. It's probably one. Yeah. And I think I
Funny
would
how
just...
gluten-free flour smells different. It does.
Salt. Be quite generous with the salt.
I
Potatoes really need salt.
And I'll often throw a bit of salt on once they're out the fry pan as well,
Yeah.
on the outside.
So, potatoes, flour, salt and pepper. You can give it a quick toss now, just to get it through.
Yeah, agree.
Best tools for this, I think, are hands, because you can get in all those clumps of potatoes, and then the egg goes on, and if you to mix that up.
With my hands?
No, I think it's spoon, but up to you.
Can you see? Probably not. The egg is going in. It's not very technical. It's real kind of, what do they call it? Cucina povera.
Exactly.
Is that it?
Yeah. I taste this mixture.
I know you're.
I don't know. Remember, it's got raw egg in it, which is an issue for some people. So if you are one of those people, don't taste it.
I don't.
I do taste
I
it
just
because I
always
like
put
to
in
season.
more salt than I think it's going to need, and it's never
Good
enough.
taste.
It's always good just to have the tiniest wee bit.
One day we should measure the salt that we've put in.
Well, it is. There is a measure.
Is there? What's the measurement in the recipe, Natty? Is it a half a
I could
teaspoon?
have a bit more.
Yeah, probably.
I'll do that. You keep mixing. I'm going to put a bit more salt. It's probably a teaspoon and a half in that.
The potatoes.
Oh, no, it doesn't
actually,
say.
it doesn't say. It just says sea salt and ground black pepper. So everyone can do it to their own liking.
And some people might prefer white pepper so you don't see the pepper, but
I like it a little bit peppery, so I always go a bit over with the pepper.
so if you make this mixture in advance, what will happen is more liquid will continue to come out of the potatoes, and you'll have a pool of liquid at the bottom. So when you fry those bits, just leave the liquid behind.
Yeah.
If you can.
Drain it
But
out.
But it's best to do it now.
Yeah.
It's best to do it now.
Yeah.
So oil, let's heat. Everyone, you need a fry pan. We're using a medium size. This is a new one I just got.
Nice.
It's Anilon, and I really like it. It's very non-stick, and it's really lovely. Okay. Yeah.
It's funny with non-stick fry pans, isn't it? Like, no matter how good quality they are, eventually they start
do.
catching a little bit.
That's right. And as soon as there's a little crack in it or a little chip,
Oh no.
chuck it.
Yeah.
Okay. So oil.
We're shallow frying here.
So you
Yeah.
sort of imagine that when you put your latke in, you maybe want the oil to come up to just under half. Yeah.
I'm going to get a tablespoon.
A bit more.
It's a drop maybe. Okay. Put your stove on, and we're going to put it on medium.
Now,
Talk about the
should we do a
Yes.
mixture of sizes?
Let's do one size at a time, and then we'll do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
Before you start frying, get a piece of paper, some paper towel on a plate, ready to drain it off.
My mum used to use paper bags for schnitzels, like when she would fry schnitzels, you know, like school lunch bags,
Yeah.
and put the brown paper there, and that's what she drained it on.
My mother did newspaper. She'd put
Yeah,
newspaper,
I think
and then
my
she
mum
would
too.
put a paper towel on top of the newspaper.
I think my mum did newspaper and then a layer of butcher paper on top. For draining.
Interesting.
I mean, in those,
Interesting. I like the newspaper.
when I was
yeah.
a wee little thing, paper towels were quite expensive. They weren't something that you just went through buckets and buckets of.
And now they're still expensive.
You could actually probably use a dry, like Chuck's cloth, and then throw it in the wash if you were being really.
But no, you don't want oil in your washing machine. I don't think you want an oily thing. I think you'd really be
Yeah.
careful with that, especially not in the dryer. You know, there's a warning on dryers to say don't put oily things in. So I wouldn't do that necessarily. But you could.
No,
You would just wash it out in the sink.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's start. Let's just make sure. We're going to put a little bit just to test if the oil's hot enough because we want it to sizzle. There is no sizzle in there.
None
It's not hot.
whatsoever.
None. It's just sitting there, just like a
We
potato.
can watch it.
I always do that with when I'm frying schnitzel. I always take it, I just pinch off a little bit of the crumb mixture and throw it in. And when it really sizzles straight away, that's when you know that you can start
Do
frying
you
your
make
schnitzel.
schnitzel a lot? A little bit. My mother was the schnitzel queen. I think we ate it 3 times a week. I never, ever make schnitzel.
Well,
Never.
it's probably because of
Completely
I think we do schnitzel
anti
quite a bit.
the hunger in me.
It's
You do?
delicious.
You fry them?
Yeah, my kids love.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a schnitzel?
It's
Come on,
actually,
tell me who doesn't. Is there anyone there who does not love a schnitzel?
It would go down as one of my top dishes for a Friday night.
Mum would make a pack fresh and hot when we were leaving Perth to fly back to Sydney with the kids, and she would fry them off just as we were about to leave at the airport so that we could bring home fresh schnitzel.
Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, like such a Yiddish mama.
All right. So I think we're ready to
Wow.
start.
Still not sizzling.
Almost.
So first we're going to do some big ones.
Yeah.
Not giant, but just
Normal
family size.
Yeah.
And then we'll do some tiny
They're
entertaining
not
ones.
family size. Family size is family size.
No, because you don't share one.
Like all
No,
this.
No, it means
No,
to
no.
serve.
I mean to serve to the family. Okay. All right, let's go.
I'm just going to check everyone that is
I'm
talking
trying to
us.
decide if I like my size or not.
And the thing about these is that you want.
I'm flattening it just a teeny bit.
I
right?
wish you could see this. Can you see?
Don't squash it super flat.
It's very
No, you
hard
really
to see.
can't.
I really can't see. I really can't show you that. I want you to see that the way Merelyn has put it in is just perfect because there's bits sticking out because you want those little bits around the edge that are going to go super
Nice
crunchy.
and crunchy.
Okay, that's frying beautifully. Oh. We've got Jessie videoing today.
Oh, and we've
As
got
you
some
saw.
comments. So let's.
Okay.
Oh, Kayleen loves schnitzel too. Thanks,
Thanks,
Kayleen.
Merelyn, yeah.
You're one of us.
I mean, nobody.
I mean, I love
Oh,
schnitzel.
that's
No,
quite
I love
clever.
it.
Denise she uses a small ice cream scoop. That's
Oh,
actually quite a
that's a good
clever
idea.
idea, isn't it?
Yeah, mine are all different sizes because
Yeah.
I don't use an ice cream scoop, but it's a very good
it
idea.
is a good idea.
So these are looking wonderful already, and they're not even cooked. So good. I hope yours are all frying
I
really
am
nicely.
super excited because we've used pollution-free flour. And you know what that means.
And you know what? When it comes to Latkes, you cannot tell the difference at
No.
all.
And in
It's,
fact,
it's great
you
for
could-
gluten-free people.
you could experiment with doing them without flour,
Yeah, and they would
but
be
they're
fine.
a little bit more fragile.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just a bit
Yeah.
more liquidy and a bit more fragile.
And you could use a little bit of potato flour, but we did all discuss yesterday. Potato flour is a little more difficult, but you could. But you could.
Now, I'm just going to move this because I know you still can't see the fry pan, but you might see a little bit. We have not overcrowded the pan.
So we're cooking 6 at a time.
Yeah.
We'll just stand here while they fry away. Oh, it was quick counting, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think it's when you can
Just
tell
smell that.
when
Latkes.
the edges get a little bit like nice golden brown, and that's when you know to flip
Yeah,
it over.
yeah. And if they fall apart when you flip them, they're not. You haven't let them cook enough because you need to get a really golden, solid crust underneath before you flip them.
Yeah.
I'm a bit impatient, so I tend to flip
No,
early
No.
and then
no.
read. Of course, I'm
no.
impatient. You know, I can't help it.
And we could probably argue all day about what's the right colour. You know?
No, you won't. I think we'll all
You'd go
agree.
slightly under, I'd go slightly over.
No, I'm over.
You're over?
Yeah. Let's get the
I would never
horseradish.
go under.
No.
No, you want
But
them,
I like
you want them
them really-
beautifully like tan.
No, I want
Can I leave
darker
this
than
in your
tan.
hands?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to come and make the? Do you want to come here and make it? I'll move up.
This is just something yummy and delicious and yummy for to put on your latkes. It's the sour cream that we talked about before, and some chopped horseradish.
Quick question: because the sour cream's been sitting on the bench for probably
Yeah,
an
it's
hour,
separated.
it's the liquid is coming out of it. So what I would do is I would get some paper towel or a chucks and I'd put the sour cream in it and I would just give it a squeeze to get that liquid out.
In a strainer.
I just give it a really good whip.
But funny because that liquid just gave me an idea that it would actually be very nice to do Mediterranean style with labna.
I agree.
Oh yeah, we swim in.
Yeah.
So that could be really nice.
Back to normal.
To make labna, which is what I was suggesting with the sour cream, you just get yogurt and you mix it. Do you mix yours with salt? I mix mine with a bit of salt.
And sometimes a bit of chili.
And natural yogurt, Greek yogurt actually, and then put it in a chucks or a paper towel and then a colander, tie it up and put it in the fridge overnight and the liquid will drain out and you'll have this thick, delicious labna that would be so good on potato latkes.
And my other thing I've done several times this summer, and summer's only just started, is some finely grated lemon rind in it.
That'll be delicious.
Yum.
So I love horseradish, so I've gone quite
Wow.
heavy on the
Did
horseradish.
you taste it first? Because sometimes it's mild and sometimes it rocks your socks.
But really, there's no quantity here. You do it to taste.
How much did you put in for
I
that
did
amount of
about
sour cream?
2 teaspoons.
Love that.
Whoa.
What
would
would
you
taste
use?
garlicky? Is there garlic in that? Do you think?
What would you use if you couldn't
Right.
find that horseradish? Would you use wasabi?
That will
wasabi
make
is-
wasabi cream.
Yeah, that'll be all right,
That's
wouldn't it?
quite nice. That would be nice with some lemon.
That's strong enough for me.
I love it strong.
I don't like clearing up sinuses.
Okay, just want to say hey to Geraldine who's just joined in. Hey Geraldine,
It's just right for me.
and Denise and Kaylee and Tanya and Ruth and Danny. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Hope your latkes are going as well as ours are at the moment. So I'm just going to flip one.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Can you see? Really, really golden
Golden.
and crisp. And they sort of start to float a bit once they get cooked on one side.
Yeah. Form that crust.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that they look just like the ones in the picture in our book.
No, they don't. See, the ones in the book don't have that. They're very definite, each strand. Too soon?
Too soon.
No, these look really good. I really love these latkes. I think these are fantastic. If anyone's in the eastern suburbs in Sydney, pop over now. You can have some.
How many cooks does it take to make a latke?
Three, obviously.
Yes.
Just one. It's a really easy thing.
It's super easy.
Okay, so
And the other thing, I don't know whether other people grew up, I'm sure they did, with latke parties.
no, tell
Where
us
like
about them.
on the weekend in the middle of Chanukah, because Chanukah lasts 8 days, you have friends over and all you do is fry latkes and press latkes for about 2 hours.
Do you sit around the kitchen and fry and eat?
Yeah, well, someone's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
No, we always do that.
Me.
Like it's a family thing. We do
Yeah,
that with
we're
our
just
family.
handing them
Like
out.
everyone should gather around here
Yeah.
and eat them. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing like these ones as they
Yeah.
5 minutes to cool a little bit and then they're at their peak.
Yeah, I'm ready and waiting.
Yeah,
All right, shall I take these out?
no,
Oh,
you're going quite
I
slowly.
know.
In a good way, because you want them to cook through. No, don't be impatient.
Because I want to show how to make the mini ones as well.
Yes.
They are quite mini.
Yeah, they are quite mini, but they're not
We
mini.
make-
They're not.
We make much
Do you?
They're not
ones in our
cocktail.
family.
They're not
Yeah.
cocktail. Okay, they got to come out. We've got to move on. I think. Can we?
No, you need to wait for people.
Look, see,
Okay, that one's
both
okay.
sides, really, really beautiful, thick. They're going to be super crunchy.
Did
Yeah.
you check it?
I do like the thick. Like,
Lisa,
Yes,
check.
you
I'm
check
sure
it.
they're done.
You can check it. How are you going to check it? Cut it in half? Because you don't want it raw in the middle.
If you just wait a minute, I'll check it by biting into it.
Okay. At home, you would take one and you would look inside and you would make sure the potato is not raw. It's really important.
It is
So-
hot. Don't do what I just did.
Merelyn, do you want to grab a teaspoon and you can make some
Yeah.
mini ones?
Yeah.
Let's just put this over here. We're going to put these here. Okay, so we're going to do some
So,
minis.
you know, if I was seriously entertaining, I'd use a teaspoon measure and try and get them pretty equal. But whoa.
So one little word of warning, as the potatoes sit and get more liquid, they're going to sizzle more and they may spit as they go into the oil. So try to drain out a bit of the liquid if you can on the way into the pan. So we're going to probably fit 12 in there at a time.
They're huge, aren't they?
I like them this size.
Yeah, I like them this size. Oh, actually, I like them that
They're
size
not
too.
too small.
These look,
Yeah, put one on
these
the
look
plate.
unbelievable. I just want to take a close up of this one. I'm just going to bring it round here.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I
I want
hope
you
that
to smell it.
everyone's kitchen smells like our
I know.
kitchen. Oh,
Smells like Chanukah.
it smells like Hanukkah.
Can you see that? Look how good that looks. Amazing.
Yeah, it does look
Wait,
amazing.
this is going to look even better.
Okay.
What would you put first? A little bit of this.
The first ones are already browning a bit less. Oh, I just need a subtle check.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, no smoked salmon.
I topped mine with, sorry, I'm starting before everyone's finished. I topped it with horseradish cream and I'm going to give it a taste test.
Don't burn your tongue.
Mm.
Oh, hang on.
Crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. Delicious.
I think we're making Jessie
I'm
hungry.
not sharing.
I can
I
see
can
Jessie's
see the
coming.
hand there.
Jesse's filming this
That
so we
was
can put it on
like cakes
Instagram.
today.
And she's enjoying. How are they, Jess?
Delicious.
Okay.
Really
This
delicious.
one's mine. It's really dark.
Okay. So while they're frying, I think we all need a taste.
I've got raw potato on.
I'm going to have this one, and I'm going to have some horseradish cream and a little bit of smoked salmon. That is an absolutely delicious, perfect way to
I'm
eat
just doing
Latkes.
pure. Like, I've been to the fish and chipper, and I've got my hash brown, or what did you used to call them? Scallops? Potato scallop?
Potato cakes.
Potato cake?
In Melbourne, we call them potato cakes.
Or
I think
potato
they're-
rosti.
I think they're potato scallops in
It is
Perth.
a potato rosti, actually.
This is really good.
I know, they're really good.
This is really good. If you haven't made them and you haven't been following along, please go and buy 4 potatoes and 1 egg. Start from the beginning of this video and make them because they are outstanding.
And really, how long did that take? 15 minutes max?
So crunchy.
So, okay. So this recipe is from our second book, The Feast Goes On. And there's lots of other recipes in that book that will go beautifully with latkes. Excuse me. Firstly, we have an avocado dip, sort of a guacamole, that it's not written in the book, it's written in the reprint, came from Natanya, but came originally from our friend Dr. Jeff Engelman, who made it for Natanya one Shabbat. And we have been making it for years and years and years. Every Friday night it's on my table.
Mine
It's
too.
the best avocado dip in The Feast Goes On, page 207. Also, salmon pastrami. There is a recipe in this book for salmon pastrami from Lynn. It is
Oh, I want some
extraordinary.
right now.
You cure it at home with salt, pepper. Lots more
That would
and,
actually take it to next level.
Yeah, I
mm,
know.
next
and-
level.
Yeah.
If you're
I forgot
really,
what you
if you're
put.
really like doing Chanukah in a big way and entertaining, and you want that beautiful table, a whole side of salmon pastrami will just
How do
go
you
down
cure it?
so well.
I've had a mental blank.
Which
What
one
is
are
that?
you looking
Yeah,
at?
I've had a complete blank of what to
What
cure it.
page are we?
In our first book, we've got a recipe, page 24. We've got a
Salmon-
recipe
salmon
for
gravlax.
gravlax from Judy, which is also amazing, a different flavour to the pastrami. They're both really great things, 3 things to make with your latkes. The other thing we were thinking is that if you were doing a latkes lunch or a latkes party, you could make a lovely salad to go alongside it. Something like, there's a fennel and mint salad in the same book, in The Feast Goes On, but you could do your own version. Fennel, rocket, radish, mint, walnuts, lemon juice, olive oil.
Yeah.
The recipe in the book is a winter recipe, so it's got Brussels sprouts in it, and we thought it would be nice just to switch out the Brussels sprouts for fresh rocket.
But if you're
And it would
watching
work
us from the
really well.
northern hemisphere, Brussels.
Yeah, Brussels would be beautiful.
So the salmon pastrami, it's coriander seeds, peppercorns, salt and sugar.
Yeah.
And then you make a spice crust.
Yeah.
Out of black peppercorns,
Yeah.
yellow mustard seeds and coriander
So you
seeds.
cure the
Yeah.
side of salmon first for 24 hours or 48 hours,
48
hours, and then you take all the curing stuff off and you dry it and you roll it in a spice crust of pastrami spices, and it is extraordinary, really extraordinary. So you can see these gorgeous things. I just want to pop these over here because I think if we have a minute, I'd like to just show you how we would serve
See
these.
these little crunchy bits left behind? They are the cook's treasure.
I just want to show you quickly before
They
we
could
go.
go darker than
No,
that.
I think they could, but I just think we should. I just would like to show how they're
So
served
when
as
you're doing them
hors
at home, please make them a minute or two darker.
Just that one there needs to turn.
Okay. So we're going to get some sour cream ready and some
Some
smoked
sour
salmon. And we're going to show you how.
Sorry to interrupt, is a question we've got from Geraldine.
I would not.
I would not.
never.
Where's that Spencer?
No.
Sorry, Geraldine, I wouldn't.
Can I go over what I do with the smoked salmon to make it
Yes, let's do that.
look vaguely pretty?
And then we should probably wind up.
And Anne has told us that she cooks her latkes in a waffle iron.
That's interesting.
That would work.
That would make it like a big rosti.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be
Or-
delicious,
yeah.
actually. These are so outstanding. I can't urge you. Run, don't walk to the fruit shop and buy potatoes now and make these now. They are too good.
I cut my slice of smoked salmon into a smaller piece, if you can see that. It doesn't have to be measured exactly.
I'll
And
do
then
that
I
bit
just
over
roll
there.
it up
Careful.
and give it a little squeeze at the bottom, and it kind of just looks like a blobby smoked salmon raisin thing. And you don't need to try very hard.
Just be careful with the hot
Yes.
oil. Okay,
Yes.
I'm just going to put it here.
Do we need to talk about how to throw away your oil?
It is a controversial thing, but
You don't
yes,
put it down
probably.
the sink,
No.
please. Probably best to not put it down the sink. It's not really good for the environment.
The first thing you can do, though, is reuse your oil. So if I do a batch of latkes like that, I will drain it off later when it cools down, put it in a jar and use it next week when I do latkes again. You've got to remember what you fried in it because you don't want to do fried fish and then donuts.
Yeah.
Speaking of donuts,
Yes.
Chanukah is coming up and we all need to make donuts. So in the same book, The Feast Goes On,
This book.
basically you need to get out your copy of The Feast Goes On
Yeah.
because we're going to do a lot with it.
We should call it the Hanukkah book.
We should. Okay, Merelyn, I'm happy for you to make these hors d'oeuvres and we'll just show everybody how lovely they'll look.
Okay.
I'll just eat that.
Um,
It's so good.
just a teaspoon.
Can I just say something about donuts for a minute? People, which way are we there, are really scared. They think, who would ever make a donut?
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, this recipe, page 286, is the easiest recipe. You don't need a deep fry. You can do it in a saucepan. You get the most organic looking shaped donuts, which are
Beautiful.
absolutely
Yeah.
delicious
Free form.
and easy to make.
The good thing about it is that you pretty much make a batter. You get an electric mixer if you can, and you whisk it till it becomes glutinous and shiny, which is like a bit stretchy. Then you leave it on the bench in the bowl for maybe an hour. Then you spoon it into the hot oil and they go,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah,
take them out, drain them and roll them in cinnamon sugar. I mean, how good is that?
And you eat them hot.
In our next book, which is coming out in February 2020, we have amazing hot jam donuts.
I went too heavy with the smoke with the sour cream. I got excited.
It's
I'm
very
really
generous,
sorry.
and also they're hot, so it's sort of melting a bit.
It's
But they look
melting a little
amazing. They look amazing.
Sorry, guys.
So new book 2020 donuts. Tell.
There's also, very exciting, a new latke recipe which you are going to love, and that's all I'm saying.
Okay. So new book. Watch all our social media. There will be a competition of some sort for people who want to pre-order the book. We'll let you know what the prize will be and the competition is in due course. If you're not signed up to our newsletter, please do so because you'll get all the news before anybody else. Just go to our website, which is mondaymorningcookingclub.com.au, and sign up if you haven't already. And I think that's all. We'll cover
We've got some more some more comments.
I'm just going to take these around.
And Giselle says that she does freeze her latkes and then
Oh,
she
wow.
reheats them. So
in the oven.
she's done
I guess
it and
you're going
it
to have to do
works.
your own experiment and see how
Yeah.
it goes.
I'd like to know, Giselle, if they come out as crunchy
Can you see
as
that?
they are now.
These look absolutely delicious. That's awesome. All right.
They look good enough to have a drink with.
Oh, that's it. That's what you'd serve.
Yeah.
You've got people coming for drinks in the festive season. This is it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's have one and say cheers. So wishing all of you, if we don't see you again on social media before the end of the year, a beautiful Chanukah, a beautiful Christmas, a beautiful holiday, whatever you're celebrating.
Summer.
Happy
Travel,
holidays.
if anyone's going anywhere.
And see you from us. And just can I ask you to just click on that
And say
end
goodbye.
so we can say goodbye. See you all.
See ya. Bye.
Thank you.